That stay at Farwania opened my eyes to something darker, something festering not just in the hospital's walls, but in the very marrow of the society surrounding it. This wasn't simply neglect, it was ideology, a philosophy of hierarchy, an unspoken yet deeply felt belief that some lives are worth more than others. In Kuwait, foreign workers are the invisible scaffolding of prosperity. They cook the meals, wash the floors, raise the children, build the towers, yet they are repaid with exploitation, racism, and a healthcare system that treats them as disposable machinery. They are the nameless hands that turn the wheel of Kuwaiti wealth, but when they falter, when illness or injury strikes, they are abandoned. The recent deaths of foreign workers like Joanna Demifelis, Constancia Diag, Ginalyn Villavende, and Julabi Ranara serve as stark reminders of this system's brutal undercurrent. These women, like the men I saw in the ward, arrived in Kuwait with the hopes of improving their lives, only to face unimaginable suffering at the hands of their employers. In a country that celebrates its oil wealth, these deaths reveal the true cost of that prosperity. The erasure of lives deemed unworthy, discarded without hesitation. Joanna Demifelis had vanished without a trace, until her frozen body was discovered, curled inside a dusty freezer in an abandoned apartment in Kuwait. Her skin bore the silent language of torture, her story locked behind a steel door and months of silence. She had served a family who fled, leaving her behind like discarded refuse, her name whispered only after death. Constancia Lea Diag met her end behind another closed door. Lifeless on the floor of her employer's home, her body told a brutal story, battered flesh, torn dignity, and the cruel imprint of a life consumed in servitude. The silence surrounding her was deafening, broken only by the cries of those who saw her return in a casket, wrapped in plastic and grief. Ginalyn Padernal Villavendi's suffering stretched across weeks, each day eroding her strength, each bruise deepening a truth officials tried to conceal. At first they spoke of heart failure, but a second autopsy unveiled what her body could no longer hide: rape, beatings, and the calculated slow death of a young woman far from home. Her murder was undeniable, even as the first story crumbled. And then there was Julabi Ranara. Her name now echoes through desert wind. They found her burned body in Kuwait's Al-Salmi wastelands, raped, pregnant, her skull crushed, her remains scorched in a shallow grave. The teenager who killed her confessed without remorse. She had cried out in life, but in death she cried louder. Each name a chapter, each body a witness, each story a wound that refuses to close. These deaths were not isolated incidents. They were the consequence of a system that valued profit over life, one where foreign workers were seen as expendable. In Farwania, I saw the echoes of their suffering, the same cold, indifferent system that allowed their deaths to happen. My experience was just a glimpse into a much larger machine. A system so entrenched, so unapologetic, that lawmakers no longer bother to mask its cruelty. Grab your copy on Amazon using the link below and uncover what happens when the system fails you. Discover the harsh realities and abuses that foreign and migrant workers face in Kuwait.